Breaking news, the Labour MP Dan Norris, who ousted Jacob Rees-Mogg from his seat last year, has been arrested on suspicion of rape and child sex offences. Who is this guy? What has he allegedly done? And who could win this seat if it went to a by-election? Let's take a look at some of the details that have come out in the Mail on Sunday. So this guy, as I said, he ousted Jacob Rees-Mogg last year. The constituency is North East Somerset. Dan Norris, he was taken into custody and the police raided his house. Now, a little bit of background on this guy, which I think is quite relevant, is that he trained with the NSPCC and worked as a teacher and a child protection officer. He has also been suspended already from the Labour Party after the Labour Party found out that he was arrested. Whether he will be readmitted to the party if and when he were found not guilty, I don't know. But it doesn't look good for him at the moment, I think it's fair to say. We've got a statement from the police with a little bit of detail about what he has allegedly done. So we had a spokeswoman for the Avon and Somerset police say in December 2024, we received a referral from another police force relating to alleged non-recent child sex offences having been committed against a girl. Most of the offences are alleged to have occurred in the 2000s, but we're also investigating an alleged offence of rape from the 2020s. Okay, so these are not light allegations, guys. This is serious stuff. Now, of course, there is a police investigation ongoing. I cannot, give my opinion as to whether I think this guy is guilty or not guilty. I don't know much about the guy, but this is not a good look for Keir Starmer. I think we can all agree. Let's not forget, we're about to have a by-election take place in Runcorn, where Mike Amesbury punched a constituent. Reform are fighting that hard. Could Reform get this seat as well? Could Reform potentially take 2 seats off Labour's hands because of MPs getting arrested? Well, this is Jacob Rees-Mogg's old constituency. Jacob Rees-Mogg could have potentially won there if you put the Reform votes and the Conservative votes together. We will take a look at the election result from last year in a moment. So it would be interesting to see. This is one of the reasons why you had Jacob Rees-Mogg call for a coalition with Reform, because Jacob Rees-Mogg knew that he was going to lose his constituency, or likely was going to, because of the Reform Party. Now, it'll be interesting to see if there is a deal done in this constituency. What does that look like? Because this is, Jacob Rees-Mogg, he's famous, he's well known, right? So I think he's probably got a better chance there of taking that seat than some random person in the Reform Party, right? And also Jacob Rees-Mogg with the Conservatives had a much stronger result there than Reform. But would they potentially try, the Reform Party, to say, look, you can run in this seat, but we will field another candidate unless you stand for Reform. So maybe they'll try and get Jacob Rees-Mogg to stand for Reform. I think Jacob Rees-Mogg is pretty loyal to the Tory party, so I think that's probably unlikely. But maybe you could see a coalition going on in this constituency where Jacob Rees-Mogg runs again to try and get his seat back and the Reform Party don't field a candidate. Maybe that could happen, but that would be also making the Reform Party look kind of hypocritical, because they've said time and time again, we won't do a deal with the Conservatives. So let's see. But apparently, according to this article in the Daily Mail, Mr. Rees-Mogg is understood to entertain hopes of returning to the Commons. He believes he would have held the seat if the Reform Party, which secured 7,000 votes, had not fielded a candidate against him. So sounds like he is potentially eyeing up a return to politics. We've got a statement from the Labour Party also on this that you can see here, but there's not really much that they can say because there's a police investigation ongoing. They've just said that they have suspended this guy from the party. So hold your horses, guys, because this does not necessarily mean that there is definitely a by-election. I'm just saying there could be a by-election, okay? So it's worth talking about, but we don't know if there would be one. So would it be Jacob Rees-Mogg who wins it back or not? Well, let's take a look at the result from last year. So you can see there that the Conservatives and the Labour Party are not that far apart. But the Reform Party also had a sizable chunk of the vote share there, and if the Conservatives and the Reform vote were put together, that would have won that seat, right? Let's take a look at the numbers. So a decent lead from Labour, 5,000. Dan Norris, 20,000. Jacob Rees-Mogg, 15,000. Reform, Paul McDonald, don't know who he is, 7,000. Okay, so interesting stuff, guys. Could be all to play for. It'd be very interesting to see if you see the Reform Party and the Conservative Party fighting against each other in this by-election. I'd be very interested to see how much of a chance Jacob Rees-Mogg would have there, how he would poll in this constituency, given that he is a very well-known popular guy, but the Conservative Party is not right now. Interesting stuff. Let me know in the comments below who you think would win this if this seat goes to a by-election. Anyway, I'm Chloe Dobbs. That's the latest. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe to the Reason channel for more videos like this.